Hello, Xandernatics! My name is Sandra, and today I'm going to create and sculpt my own toy, which is my avatar named Xandernatics. Xandernatics was an image from my imagination, original and result of my mediocre mind. Its background story was, in a distant planet far away from our solar system, there was an advanced civilization living in a planet similar to ours, and that planet is called Xanderia. While I'm telling you his story, let me build Xandernatics. Xandernatics was a soldier fighting a civil war from space for his planet Xanderia. He was badly injured and his spacecraft lost control. He was stranded on space, unable to communicate to his planet until eventually he crash landed to Earth. He was amazed how beautiful the Earth was, and he was adopted by an old couple named Tatay Eloy and Nanay Yoneng, who taught him values and wisdom, and the old couple named him as Sandra Cruces. Because his technology was way too advanced on Earth, he decided to help humanity against their adversary, as a masked hero named Xandernatics. The world was shocked upon his presence, and half of humanity was not pleased to see him as a hero, but treat him as a threat to all mankind. All efforts was made to reveal his identity, but Xandernatics was able to maintain his secret identity in exchange of allowing people to maltreat him when he is acting as Sandra Cruces. Xandernatics' alter ego named Sandra Cruces might be the same like any superheroes who didn't get the things they deserve. However, Xandernatics' origin was different from any other superheroes we know. For example, Batman is actually Bruce Wayne, Iron Man was Tony Stark, and Flavio was the Panday. When those superhero wakes up in the morning, they are Bruce, Tony, and Flavio. They just put their costume and weapons to become superheroes. But Sandra Cruces didn't become Xandernatics. Xandernatics was born Xandernatics. When he wake up in the morning, he was already Xandernatics. His costume was his alter ego named Sandra Cruces. He put his long sleeve, eyeglasses, and takes a laptop as a disguise, just to blend in human society. Sandra Cruces is how Xandernatics view humanity, the characteristic of weak, coward, and miserable. Sandra Cruces is Xandernatics' critic on the whole human race. His character was somehow gloomy and he is introvert. He often decides on the difficult situation where he compromises his own sake for others. Aside the high-end suit and strong body that can survive vacuum of space, he was not immortal. In his origin, he was badly injured when he was hit by a beam cannon armed with a substance known as Cosmovirus. Cosmovirus' effect is temporary but lethal to Xandernatics' body, which makes him vulnerable to any human weapon for a short period of time. His armor has a nanotechnology on it, where its housing can be kept inside his pocket when not in use. Aside from his suit ornaments, Xandernatics already have super strength, super reflexes, super instinct, and super durability. His ultimate weapon lies on his armor, the chronospace, where he can stop time on a limited space for 5 seconds every 16 minutes and 40 seconds, or known as 1000 tic-tacs. Inside the chronospace, he can move and deal damage on his enemies, but the effects will be applied upon the end of its duration. His ultimate chronospace might seem incredibly and powerful, but aside its limitation, Xandernatics cannot change or move any objects aside himself inside of it. Thus, he cannot make any changes to the time-space continuum, and the only thing he can do inside is to damage, evade, or block the attack of its target. His arsenal, the X-Saber, uses a powerful burst of light that acts as a blade which can slice almost anything, even inside the chronospace. He also has X-Defender, which is a shield that able to block almost any attack, and it also works inside the chronospace. His main weapon, the X-Blaster, was mounted on both of its hands and able to fire a beam laser or an energy ball that can damage his enemies. His story is currently on hiatus, and I might not able to unfold his story to tell this tale. He turned out to be just my avatar, and creating him as a figure is just a product of some ideas that lurking inside my mind that obtain a physical form. Aside and before Xandernatics, I also have another character which is inside my head when I was on elementary. He is Crimson Fire Evangelion, from my own authored childish novel, which I called Bionic Heroes. As I always been a fan of Bioman, Maskman, and Power Rangers, I created my own set of Super Sentai when I was a child. I used to draw and tell their story on my spare notebook. Crimson Fire Evangelion was the red one of the group. He used Fire Elemental and pilot the mechanical winged lion called Evangelion. Lastly, another vintage image on my mind was able to take a physical form by sculpting. He is Shalom, a red dog which is actually my first ever toy. If my life was a toy story from Disney, he is my Woody. But a tragedy happened, and I lost him forever. I believe that I lost him on the hospital when I was confined for typhoid fever, a great price which I pay for surviving the dreaded disease. Look at the face of my creation. Did you also create your own superheroes? Do you ever try to write their own tale? It is very melancholic every time I look these projects. It reminds me that I was a child not so long time ago, where I believe that the good always triumph against evil, fantasize how good the world is, and happiness always surround my environment. However, when we grow old, we used to forget these things. Maybe, due to experience, we neglect to entertain ourselves and focus on the things that we thought a priority and necessity like career, finance, or things like adulthood business. I create this, my original childhood heroes, just to remind me that the happy moments of my life where there is no politics, no corporate ladders to climb, and finance to worry about. This is my personal creation, my own characters, and see you next time for more!